So I chose to answer prompt 2, which was the Starbucks incident. And for question 1, I agree that this was racism and not implicit bias, because implicit bias is the stereotypes or bias that we have against others without being aware of it. But I do want to note that this is still very wrong and should be treated as equivalent to racism. And for the case of the Starbucks incident, the employee was making several conscious choices against these two men who were just waiting for their friend. So I would deem that as racism because the men weren't causing any sort of disturbance and they have every right to be in that Starbucks. And then for question 2, I also agree that diversity management protects businesses more than it does minorities, because it seems to be just a way for businesses to avoid taking accountability for their employees' actions. Because instead of addressing the employee who is racist or biased towards a customer, they're having everyone complete another training about how to treat customers properly, and it will probably go in one ear and out the other for most people. And then for question 3 about the training that Starbucks put into place after this incident occurred, my opinion is that the training will probably achieve very little, but if I had to choose a format that would make it more effective, I would say to make sure you remind employees about the consequences of their actions towards customers, specifically when those actions directly harm both an individual and a community. But in my opinion, I think a more effective way to address these problems and prevent these incidents from occurring in the future would be to have the employee and their supervisor take accountability for those actions, especially if that employee is consistently racist or biased towards certain groups. And so taking accountability would mean suspension, dismissal, demotion, or anything along those lines. I think that would definitely be more effective in this situation. And then for question 4 about the Starbucks open bathroom policy, I am in favor of this new policy because I don't really understand why people need to buy something in order to use the restroom. I think it's a basic human right to be able to use the bathroom, especially since it's something that we can't control. And I mean, if I am thinking about this correctly, I think Starbucks is technically a private business on private property. However, it still would be nice to be able to use the bathroom without having to buy anything.